Calling all my sweeties to the forefront. I'm your host, Renee Hayslett, and this is the Keep It Positive Sweetie Show. Hey, sweeties, welcome back. I know it's been a few weeks since we've seen each other, but have no fear because Keep It Positive Sweetie is here. Today's guest needs no introduction, but you know I'm going to give you one anyway. She is Atlanta through and through. She is a wife, mom, singer, actress, producer, and a Grammy Award-winning songwriter. You met her through her group Escape, and you got to know her really well on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Sweeties, please give a very warm welcome to Kandi Burruss. Kandi, what's going on, girl? You're here, finally. Girl, we've been trying to get you on this podcast since when did we go? We were in Fashion Week. Was that February?
I don't even remember.
Talking about it.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a minute.
For a while. So we're finally here. So excited to have you.
Thanks for having me.
How you feeling? You're welcome.
I feel good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So a lot of people, we know your accolades. Everyone's been a fan of yours since Escape. Tell us a little bit more about you, Kandi Burruss, and your upbringing that we may not know.
Ooh, I don't know. It's like, I feel like at this point, people know so much about me, but...
Yeah, how does that feel, like, to feel like everybody knows so much?
Sometimes it's weird.
Yeah.
Nah.
Right.
It's cool, you know? I'm just thankful to be able to, be in a space where... people do know me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people take that for granted.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at one point in my younger years, who used, even, in my group or whatever, at one point, we probably took it for granted.
Yeah.
And, I had to learn, like, that's not just a given.
Mm-hmm. That's
just
real.
because you've done something before doesn't mean that people are going to keep caring.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of, like, thankful for it, I guess.
Yeah.
But, as far as my background, I am from Atlanta.
Are you from real Atlanta? Because you know they were saying that's not Atlanta. Which Atlanta are you from?
It's like, are you talking about where I was born or where I was raised? I was born at Crawford Long, okay? And that was on Peach Street. They changed the name.
Okay.
But yes, I was born here in Atlanta. I was raised off of Washington Road and East Point. So I guess that's what they're saying.
Uh-huh.
People from downtown Atlanta, they love to be talking about what's not real Atlanta.
Right.
I got 100 cousins. I was staying in Atlanta every day.
Yeah.
I'm from Atlanta. Stop playing with me.
Right. I know that's right.
But yeah, my mom is the youngest of 14 kids.
Wow.
Yes. And so I have like over 80 something first cousins, not to mention second and third cousins. And a lot of us are like close.
I love that.
Yeah, like sisters and brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then my dad's family, he was the youngest of 3 kids, but I don't have many cousins on my dad's side. I just have 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's
a big difference.
And my granddad was a bishop here in Atlanta. So,
awesome.
Bethlehem Church of God Holiness, Martin Luther King. So, both sides of the family very different.
Yeah.
So I guess I had a very wide range of influence.
Yes, I can imagine. That's crazy. I didn't know Mama Joyce was one of 14. Now, do you have any siblings?
My brother passed away when I was young, when I was 15, my brother Patrick. And his name was Patrick Riley, and that's why Riley's name is Riley.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that. Yes.
And then I do have a sister, through my dad.
Got it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Got it. Similar. Okay. Yeah, I have all my siblings. We have different mothers. Mm-hmm. So like we were all raised kind of similar. Everybody was raised in different homes. Mm-hmm. But it's awesome to see how as we grow up, we grow closer.
How many you have?
4. So 4 of us total.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, I'm one of 4, the second oldest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love that. So oh my goodness, you've done so many things from singing to now you're producing, you're a mother, all the things. You had Riley and Ace and then Blaze Tucker.
Yeah.
Blaze.
And my
and
bonus
Blaze
daughter,
Tucker,
Kayla.
yeah.
Shout out to Kayla.
Who?
My bonus daughter, Kayla.
Oh, yes, and Kayla, yes. You had Blaze through surrogacy, and that was a decision that you made after struggling with fibroids.
Yes.
Can you walk me through that journey, because I opened up to you. I was recently on your podcast, and I talked about me finally going to the fertility doctor and the options that I have, and that's one of the options. So what is it like, and what was it like coming to that moment where this may be my reality, that I'm not going to be able to carry like I have?
Oh, okay. Well, for Ace and Blaze, I had to do IVF.
Okay.
So I had a lot of fibroid issues, multiple fibroid surgeries throughout my 30s.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And so even to get pregnant with Ace, I had to do IVF.
Yeah.
And with that, I know a lot of people's journey is different with IVF. You know, I don't know if a lot of y'all who haven't experienced that, it's not guaranteed that you're going to have a child just because you go through IVF. You know, they say the best method to do is you put the egg and the sperm together to make an embryo.
Right.
Okay. And that's just basic 101. Some people just freeze their eggs.
Right.
Other people have, go through the process of getting embryos. So we had, with what we were possibly able to have, we went from what was 12, dropped down to 6 embryos. And then after testing them to make sure that they were good, we only had 4. So we put 2 in with Ace, only 1 made it.
Wow.
But then I had a high-risk pregnancy, and that's just basically because of, I guess, the multiple surgeries.
Okay.
I had bleeding during the pregnancy or whatever.
That's got to be scary.
Yeah, it was scary.
Good.
But luckily, we got Ace. He was healthy, and so we still had 2 that were frozen.
Right. Okay.
And the best option, after a while, we were trying to figure out, okay, are we going to use our embryos or not? You know what I mean? And we didn't want to not, use them.
Right. Yeah.
So we had to figure out the best way to make sure that she was gonna make it here. So we had to, and that's when I talked to Dr. Jackie, and she helped me find a surrogate.
Wow. And when it comes to that, I know it's got to be a difficult process choosing a person that's going to carry your seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what was that like?
It was. They say it could be very, very difficult for a lot of people. What I will say, I'm thankful for Dr. Jackie, because she knew, shout out to Shadina, my surrogate, I guess when she was caring for another family before me, and Dr. Jackie was the doctor.
Oh, perfect.
So originally I was just meeting with her to talk about it, to see, so she can give me how it works and all of that stuff. But then as we were having the conversation, obviously I was like, well, would she do it?
Yeah.
Because I was kind of told that it's best to, have a surrogate who has done it already one time.
Got it.
And I don't know how true that is for others, but for me, it worked out amazing, because she was like, Shadina was so knowledgeable. She had so much knowledgeable she was on the process. She encouraged us to have a group text with her. So she would always be updating us. And, it just made it a lot easier for me, because she had already been there, done that, and kind of could help us in a way to where things may have felt awkward for some people. It didn't feel as awkward.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she made us feel very comfortable in the situation, and I was very appreciative of that. But yeah, I had the perfect situation, because my doctor had already been her doctor before, so she already knew that she's gonna make sure the baby's healthy, eat the right things, do the right things, go to the appointments, do all of those things.
Right.
Now,
did she come and live with you? Because I know some surrogates, like the parents want, like, I want you in my house.
Nah. I'm not that
person.
I'm not that person. So for me, she has kids of her own.
Okay.
So she had, lived in her own house.
Yeah.
I did go visit her home.
Okay, good. Yeah, to see living conditions and all the things.
Yes. So, and it's so crazy. So, even the attorney that we use. So in Georgia, every place has its own laws.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, every state. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
I've heard California is a little different.
Yes, but the lawyer that I use, she had, she's also an agency.
Okay.
So the firm, her firm.
Yeah.
So she knew inside and out the things that we need to do, the questions we need to ask. You have to go through counseling together and separately
with the mother.
The
surrogate. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, this is good.
Yeah, we did all of that.
I love this. Okay.
Yeah, and then when she gave us this questionnaire, it was questions I wouldn't even have thought to ask.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a very interesting experience, but I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
And grateful that I had the right people to come into my life to help the process go smoother.
Right.
And then just even like the paperwork that you have to do prior to first of all getting started and to end for when the baby gets here, because obviously you want your name on the birth certificate with your child.
Right.
And all of those things.
Yeah.
So I would suggest if you're going to do it, try not to be, trying to be cheap and skip around and not get the right people to help you.
Speaking of being cheap, like how much does it cost to do something like this for people who may be thinking about it?
Well, the cost of surrogacy is different for different people.
Okay.
Depending on the surrogate, depending on if you go through an agency, for the surrogate themselves.
Yeah.
So their fee may vary.
Okay.
I mean, I know people that's like anywhere from 40 to 100, depending on you.
Okay.
And I've heard some people who go as low as 25. I know some people that went to another country to do it, and they didn't have to pay much at all. But that's when you kind of run into other issues like trying to make sure that your name is on the birth. If you're not, you have to please get an attorney to do your paperwork.
Because what if the surrogate tries to keep your child? Well, can that happen?
I have that experience, and I don't know anybody that has that experience.
Okay.
But I do know somebody who didn't get the right forms that they need, so now it's making it harder for them to get other documents that they need here, so they got to go back to get all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like I would at least make sure that I have an attorney that's going through it to be like, make sure you have this, make sure you have that, make sure this form is signed, all of these things, because it's a whole checklist of stuff.
I can imagine. I'm seeing, yeah.
And this is your baby, and especially in this world where the government is acting up with making sure citizenship is right. So you gotta make sure all that stuff is right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But so I do tell people the attorney.
Okay.
Because they can, well, especially if you're in Georgia, if you want it, I will give you the information.
Okay.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Because she was just so thorough in giving you, like, even if you just go for that initial consultation meeting to see if you want to use them for the whole process.
Right.
Because it's too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then even now, even with Blaze, sometimes she was like, is that how it was when I was in your belly? And I keep trying to explain to her, I had to borrow somebody's belly, Blaze. Because my belly wasn't working right. That's what I've been trying to tell her. But it's like, I'm trying to figure out how to explain, to her the process. But the other day, it was so cool. I had ran into a friend of a friend. And she was like, Kandi, I don't know if you remember having this conversation with me. She was like, but some years ago, she was like, I was considering doing IVF because I was having some issues. And she was like, and you were like, no, you should do it. And she was like, and you gave me so much encouragement and, told me what to do. And she was like, but that is my son right there. And her son was playing with my son.
Wow.
And I was like, that is so crazy. They don't even know their connection.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
wow.
to see both of them healthy, playing, running around, and and knowing that, my circumstance was at once her circumstance, and my circumstance helped her.
Right, to make that choice. Yeah.
So cool to me.
That's dope. I love that. I love that. Now, I hear so many different stories about the injections and the toll that it takes on your body. Did you have any side effects, or was it just easy breezy for you?
It wasn't easy. Giving yourself those injections.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. I have a high tolerance for pain.
Okay.
But I will say that last shot you got to give, the trigger shot or whatever they call it, when it's time to the appointment that they have to actually take the
eggs out.
The eggs. That one, it was painful.
Ooh,
painful.
Like a burn, or just the
I can't even remember how to describe it, really. I just remember, the other shots was just kind of like, you can, do it in your belly or whatever.
Yeah.
And a certain time of day, you want to do it every day and follow the rules, and
right.
That was cool. But that last shot, I was like, And then for me, every doctor is different of what they tell you to do. But my IVF facility, they still wanted me to, once they implanted the embryos, still do the shots for like another, how much longer I did it? Another couple months.
What?
Yes, because they said that, was it estrogen? I don't know, whatever it was that they were giving me. They said, because some people, once it's implanted, they still lose, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They said for them, it gave them a higher success rate of the embryo implanting.
Okay.
And attaching how it's supposed to.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
I can't remember what it was exactly that I was still having to
take. Yeah.
Mind y'all, Ace is 9.5 now, so this was a long time ago.
Yeah, times have changed. Isn't it crazy how like you can go have a surgery or a procedure done, and then years later they come out with a much easier way where like you gotta take one shot, and you're like, I had to take 50.
I was taking them for a couple more months just to make sure that the embryos stayed. It was locked in.
Yeah.
So it was not the easiest, but so worth it.
Good, because a lot of people don't talk about that part of it, because people are like, oh yeah, go do it, and then like, wait, you didn't tell me about this part. And that's probably been my hesitancy, honestly, is like the toll that it takes on your body, and do I have the time with our schedules like to really take the time to do that?
Right.
Were you able to continue to work and like travel and do everything, or did you have to take some time off?
Well, I was still able to work. I was still filming that season that I was pregnant with Ace. I remember I was filming.
Okay.
But yeah, I was able to work.
Okay.
It's just, you just make sure you're doing it at a certain time every day.
Okay.
Doing what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
And with Blaze, with Surrogate, obviously.
Yeah, you were able to do,
I was all over the place.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I felt guilty in a way, because you like, it's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I?
You got it? Yeah,
you got it, right? You good? I don't know. It's like, it's so crazy. I hate to even say this out loud, but having a surrogate, I felt like, is this what it's like to be the daddy?
No, that's a...
Because
Yeah. I see what you No, but that's a really good comparison.
With moms, we had our bodies changing, dealing with all these emotions and hormones. We trying to eat right. We trying to make sure we do everything we can perfectly to make sure we incubate, right?
Yes.
And make sure the baby comes out the way it needs to be. I mean, heartburn, like that heart. I didn't even know what heartburn was until I was pregnant with Ace. Like, now mind y'all, Riley got a lot of hair. a lot of hair.
Yes.
But when she was born, she did not have a lot of hair.
Okay.
So, but Ace
He had a lot of
did. And that rumor that they say about babies, when they got a lot of hair, they come out with a lot of hair, that you got heartburn during pregnancy, that must be true.
Because you had it. Wow.
What? Oh my gosh. I was like, I can't even lay down. Like, what is happening to me?
Yeah.
But with Blaze, having a surrogate, she was telling me all about her heartburn. And I was like, oh,
I'm so sorry. Yeah, at least you can relate. You're like, I know what you're going through, girl.
I knew what she was going through. But, I still was able to go do everything I needed to do. And it was almost a little bit of guilt there. Yeah. Because, you feel like, there's a reason that I had to get a surrogate. But it's almost like, wow, this is the move.
Right.
Like, it wasn't intentional.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. When you speak on Mom Guild, you're a mogul. You're traveling all over the world. You're handling so many different business ventures. Do you deal with Mom Guild now, like having to travel all the time? And how do you handle that?
Of course. I feel like every mother that I know that has a career feels guilt. Every last one of them. And sometimes we overcompensate in the way that the gifts we buy them, the things that we do, because we want them to realize this is a reason. This is why I had to be here. You had to make money so you could do this or do that. But it's all. I don't think that ever goes away.
Yeah. No, for sure. Now, just be honest, I don't watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. Did you bring your children onto the show? Like, were they do you open up everything to the show, or did you keep your children off?
Oh, my children was on. They
were on there. Oh, okay.
And so now Riley on her own.
Yes, I saw that they got a next generation or something.
The next gen.
Gen.
Yeah,
that's crazy. How is that going for her?
I mean, it's going good. I think it was different for her. Like, she didn't know all the work that it goes into shoot.
Right, because for you, she would just show up.
She just show up a couple times and, but she didn't realize, they want you to be there every day and they give you last minute schedules. It's a lot, and then, all the emotional roller coaster she was going on, going back and forth with the different people on the show and calling me, Mommy, like you said, and it's like, oh my gosh.
What advice did you give her to help navigate those?
Just right off rip, I just told my daughter, look, be yourself. Don't, whatever you say, stand on it. Yeah. Don't take it back. You can apologize if you look, think later on that maybe you didn't do the right thing, but don't be on there acting like you said something, didn't say something that you said. We are known for being truthful people, and you ain't finna change that.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So always be a person of your word. So even if people don't like what you do, they know that, you be like, hey, I meant what I said when I said it. And I'm standing on it. You know what I mean? I said, and if you do anything that's wrong, it's okay. You'll live to see another day, and your mama always got your back.
I know that's right. I love that. When it came to you saying yes to Real Housewives of Atlanta,
100 years ago,
right? You were the longest one. Yeah, you were the longest housewife.
Yeah,
longest running. That's amazing. 14 seasons straight. That is incredible. But you mentioned that after the first season, you realized math ain't mathin', and I got to do some other things. What was that thing that clicked where you wait a minute? And what did you think you were gonna make when you first started?
What did I think? What?
Monetarily, thinking you're going on this show, you're opening so much of your life.
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
What made you say yes?
One of my friends, was it Rashida? I know one of my friends was like, girl, just go ahead and do it.
Just do it.
You never know what's going to come from it. Because I was like, this ain't no money.
Right. I've seen money. You're like, this ain't no money.
What I'm going to do with this? And then, honestly, I didn't really think that it was going to change my life like that.
Right.
Because, I've been in a group.
Right.
Escape.
You're Kandi, yeah.
We had done stuff before.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, whatever. I had watched the first season. I thought it was funny, but I didn't really see myself being with those ladies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nothing against them. I just didn't see how we would be hanging out.
Right. I feel you, yeah.
So I was like, I don't know about this.
Right.
But you know, I was like, okay, well, I'll do it for a year. It might be all right, you know.
Yeah.
Because they really wasn't talking about no money.
Right.
It wasn't no money. But then, man, I just thought it would be something cool to do.
Yeah.
You know. And next thing I know, first day of taping, I remember it got real for me. Day one.
What happened?
They did a scene with me and my mama.
She said, me and my mama.
And she had me crying the first day.
Like you had me crying.
I did.
Like me.
Oh yeah. I didn't mean to do that.
No, I know.
But I was not expecting that. Like I was like, golly, they let you break you in first. Like
Right.
But yeah, and the rest was history.
Wow. Speaking of that moment with your mom, was there any moments that were therapeutic for you guys in the show, or anything that kind of came up that you hadn't resolved?
We've had so many moments over those 14 seasons.
Yeah.
And then we had multiple, you know, specials and spinoffs or whatever.
Yeah. Now, I did watch your show at the restaurant, and that was funny.
Oh, yeah, Kandi in the gang.
So funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was fun to do, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I definitely would say, yeah, I guess it would be therapeutic. And then, you know, it was a lot of wonderful moments, you know, with my kids that I can look back and it's like our own little diary. We can go back and see parts of our lives. My kids can see themselves grow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing I find, I'm like, wow, now that I left, like, Blaze is not going to have the same experience as Riley.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because, you know, her life is not going to be just all in front of the camera like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But it's cool though. You know, I feel like my family had their time to, you know, to be, you know, that I was able to share them with the world.
Yeah.
My aunts, you know, my cousins on there.
Yeah.
You know, I met Todd on there. You know, you saw the process of me trying to get pregnant, having my kids. So many things.
Yeah. Was there ever any moments where you were like, I regret opening up about that? Where you look back, or where you kind of were at home like, dang, why did I let them into this part of my life?
I'm kind of an open book. So it's not, I don't really have a lot of regrets. Now, I'm always saying something that I probably shouldn't say. And later on, and it'd be my mom to be like, did you have to tell everybody that you blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, well, I mean, it is what it is. Whatever.
Right.
But, so I don't really look at anything as a regret, you know?
Yeah, I love that.
You know, and then like some things, you know, are put on you, you know, you don't have to, it wasn't anything you did to put it out there. When you're on reality TV, especially, you know, with ensemble cast, people be coming at you left and right with all kinds of crazy stuff.
I can imagine.
So it's not like you always have a choice in the matter.
Right. Yeah.
You don't know what somebody gonna hit you with. You be like, wait a minute now, hold on.
Right. Now, you say you've always been an open book. So when you got on the show, did you go into it with the mindset of, I'm just going to be real? Because you're really authentic in your true self. Was that something, or did you kind of start letting your wall down as the seasons progressed?
I didn't overthink it.
Okay.
I think that's what I don't like about reality TV now is that everybody go into everything. It's like my brand. Oh, I got to worry about my brand. This, my brand, that. And then sometimes to me, it makes them fake. You know what I mean? And I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, half the time when, like, I tell people all the time, these girls be having rehearsed reads and stuff like that.
For reality TV?
Yes, and it be so obvious, but to me it be obvious. I guess it's not.
Because you're a real actor as well. You're like, we ain't got to do that for this.
I know when you do. I know when you practice.
Right.
Yeah, but for me, it's like I'm a what comes up, comes out type of person.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you hit me with something, you gonna catch whatever I was thinking at that moment.
Right. Unfiltered.
And I feel like it's better for me to roll in that way. You know what I mean? So where it's not like overthinking, it just stresses me out.
Yeah, that I can imagine that. Speaking of like opening up to things, you've been very open about being sex positive and just very open about your
She
sexuality.
said it's so sweet. Sex positive.
Now, when I was on your podcast, I opened up about me abstaining from sex, and you were like flabbergasted. You were like, "What? How long, sis? Because what?"
I mean, I was flabbergasted by the part of you saying that you started having sex with the man, and then just out the blue, you just told him, "Yeah, I just thought about it. I'm just not having sex."
It wasn't
anymore.
a thought about it.
Yeah. God talked to me,
Yeah.
and I'm not having sex anymore.
Exactly.
Now that was the part I was like,
And it's hard, like,
okay.
But it's not like anybody else who's been having sex their whole life, and then just God reveals them, "I don't want you doing this," and then they like, "I got to change." Because
But what was the reveal?
The reveal was, you're living out of the will of God, and I need you to focus on me, because right now you're like going down a road of destruction. And I was like, all right, I need to just really focus, because if I want a certain type of love, I've got to carry myself in a certain type of way. Like, I can't want to be loved like God wants us to be loved, and then not be living like he wants me to live. So I was like, in order to get something different, because I've gone, Kandi, when I say heartbreak after heartbreak, and it's just like, clearly I'm doing something wrong. And it was just like one of those throw in the towel moments.
What it is.
Honestly, because sex clouds everything. You know, for me, like when you do it out of the will, for me it was like, because you think about, I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, like as soon as like you like have sex with somebody, you're just like, oh my God, it's loving it. Everything is unveiled. It's like, I don't know if I even like you like that. Like the scales fall from your eyes and you're like, oh, this is who you really are. It takes away from that.
I get it. And, you know, I hate having these conversations with, and, you know, I love the Lord. I told you my
You did tell
granddaddy
me
was a
that, yes.
bishop now. But I hate having these conversations sometimes with people who are on their walk of faith, right?
But these are good
because
conversations to
I don't
have.
ever want to say anything that's discouraging
Yeah.
you from doing something that's in the walk of faith.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because listen, I believe in God too. You know what I mean? And I definitely know that, you know, we all fall short of, you know,
Every day.
Yeah. Right. But I just feel like sometimes people put too much on the sex part. You know,
It's so many other things.
and sexuality, people's choices of, you know, their sexuality, choosing to have sex, all of the things. I think people act like that's the biggest sin in the world,
not.
and they skip over all these other sins, and that's the only sin they focus on.
Exactly.
And so that's why when people talk about, you know, for you in this conversation, when you say, what am I doing wrong in the relationship? So was sex the only thing you were doing wrong to make your relationships not go right for you?
No.
Because for me, when I have sex, and even when I'm talking about mind you, I've been married a long time.
Yeah. How long? 2014? 2000?
Since 2014.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And I have not had sex with another man since Todd and I even dated.
Wow.
Okay, well, since we started having sex.
Yeah.
And that, so it's been a long time since I've been in the pool of meeting men or whatever. But I remember what it's like.
Was it muddy then? Because it's
I remember.
dirty now.
Yes, it was muddy then. It was muddy. But what I say in my thought process, when I have sex, I'm having sex for me. I'm not having sex just because I'm trying to lock you down. Because some women, they have sex with the mentality, oh yeah, I'm going to put this thing on him. And I'm going to make him do what he do. I don't care about putting that thing on you to make you stay, because there's so many things about me that should make you stay.
Come on.
Okay?
Yeah.
When I'm having sex for me.
For you.
You
Now,
know
what
what
do
I
you
mean?
feel like about like soul ties out of like in the baggage that you
People
carry?
say that thing about soul ties, and I hear what you're saying. But there's people in my past that I'm not tied to them. I would like to forget that we ever had a tie. You know what I mean? It's untied.
It's untied. Is it?
Sometimes it's untied. Believe me, it's untied. I don't move forward. Like, I mean, you ain't a virgin. You know you ain't a virgin.
No.
So
No.
the thing about it is,
And I felt like I was very open with you. Like, I love sex because God wants us to love it.
okay,
He created it for us to
feel
love
tied to everybody that you had sex with in the past.
it. There is something that weighs on you that you take from every person that you have sex with. and you may not realize it. If you're like the certain stresses that you carry, the bonds that you carry, you may not realize it. But sometimes you look and you're like, why am I feeling like this? What is this?
And you feel like it's directly tied
To everybody that's been inside you, yes.
See, I don't agree. My stress for the day could be dealing with these bills that I got going on. My stress for the day deal because I wasn't able to lock in this business opportunity that I was trying to get. Or, you know, for me right now, my husband got on my nerves, you know what I mean? Or, you know, the kids stressing me out.
Yeah.
I'm not tied to
That's not
nobody
the only
that I had hooked up with in 2000.
No, that's not the only thing that I'm saying, but that's just like,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I totally get what you're saying. And I love having these conversations. Like, it's like girl talk.
Great debate.
You know, like just even like we were at your house and my house, I'm like, Kandi, so like you're curious, you're like, and even for me, I'm like, okay, like when did sex first come up? Like, did you grow up like your mom was open about, because you know in black homes it's taboo to talk about.
It
you know what I'm saying? You don't really mention it. Even if you have a parent that says, when you're ready to have sex, come talk to me. Even when you do that, it's never a comfortable conversation.
Well, here's the thing, and I always tell people, you need to have those conversations with your kids way younger than you expect. So
what age do you think?
By middle school, you should have already had that conversation.
True, because that's when we're kind of learning.
Some people think that that's crazy. I'm telling you right now, these kids in middle school having sex. Okay?
Wow.
They having sex, or either they friends having sex, they talking about sex. Especially now the internet, they over here showing each other stuff on the internet. In elementary school,
Yes.
they're showing each other stuff they finding online.
Wow.
Now, when I was little, you know, I'm a little older, but you know, everybody be trying to sneak to watch the dirty channel, channel that be fuzzy, and you put something in the box and you try to straighten the channel up so you can see it.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, my mom was not having conversations with me that early.
Yeah.
I was finding out things through my friend.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you don't want their friend to be the one that tells them about sex.
Right, no.
You know what I mean?
That is so true.
No.
My mom used to always say the worst thing, getting pregnant is not the worst thing that can happen. She was like, you can get an STD that you can't get rid of. She would always put that fear in me. And she was like, but I want you to be able to come and talk to me about it. And then when you go talk, it's like, you ain't ready to have sex. I'm like, but these are things I'm feeling, you know? So it kind of, in that home, like you feel like you're not open.
What advice you going to give to a kid one day when they say that to you?
Yeah, for me, I mean, honestly, I don't have children right now, but you have to be realistic, you know what I'm saying, with honestly, the influences of the world, where they are now, with how you said, like, kids in elementary school are showing each other videos, like, do you see this? So at a young age, just talking to them, letting them know. And honestly, I'll be raising my children in the church under the foundation of Christ so they can know right from wrong at a very young age. But, like, also just teaching and being realistic, like, hey, I know these urges are going to come up, your hormones are going to start changing, and I do want my children to be able to come talk to me, and we can have open dialogue about it so they can, one, be healthy, but also protect them and give them the other consequences that come along with it, you know, and try to protect them as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you give your children? Like, I know Riley's older, but like your younger daughter, like.
I am that auntie, that cousin that everybody come to.
Really?
Something they need to talk about it, or something that went wrong. I always try to catch them before it goes.
Yeah.
Now, I remember, I definitely had cousins that were talking about sex in middle school.
We all did, for sure.
But I was having that conversation about HPV viruses, all of that, showing them the websites of where it showed them how these things are passed, how at their age it's running rampant. I was talking to them about, you know, obviously birth control. I was talking about all the things, and yes, you can tell them, you know, it's best not to do it. What I always would tell most of the girls, I'd be like, first of all, don't be up there doing nothing with nobody to go to school with you. Because if y'all break up, he gonna tell all his friends that y'all did it. And then after that, your next boyfriend is gonna say, well, you did it with him. And it's gonna be, you're gonna feel pressured.
Yeah, that's
so don't do that. I'll have real conversations.
Right, yeah.
With, you know, family, friends.
Yeah. No, that's good. With the internet and you being very open with it, has it ever been a moment where your daughter has come like, Mom, like this is what the kids are talking about at school? Or has it?
I was talking to her before she had to come to me talking and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like you're like how you're very doing videos like with candy coated nights and stuff like that. Has any of that?
Oh, you mean my personal sex life?
Yeah. Like has kids
yeah.
ever like your kids have come and said something?
No, I go to them.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I haven't had those conversations with Ace and Blaze yet.
Right.
But definitely in middle school, well, I think Riley was probably in middle school or just getting into high school. Probably high school. I can't remember.
Yeah.
When that whole dungeon accusation came about. So yes, I had a conversation with my child about like, okay, this is what happened, and blah 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 blah. Yes.
Okay. So was it awkward for you to have, or you just like this is what it is, like everything else?
This is what it is. Now I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy that I'm able to talk to my kids about, stuff like that. But the crazy part that y'all don't realize, their friends are already talking about stuff like that.
Absolutely. No, for sure.
So for them, when you explain like, this is what happened, this is what they said, this part is not true.
Right.
Do not believe, I would never, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it's like, they're just like, oh, okay.
And move on. It's like
moving right along.
Yes. Okay, that's good. When it comes to Riley, your older daughter, how do you talk to her and say, hey, like, if she's a mom, like, I'm ready to have sex? Like, what is it that you tell her, you know what I'm saying, as your daughter, and like, are you pushing her to be as sex positive as you are? Or do you just like make your own decision that's on you?
Riley's grown now.
Grown. How old is Riley now?
She just turned 23.
Oh yeah, she's grown.
Yeah, she's grown. Like I said, I had always had conversations with her.
Yeah.
So the first time she had any experience, I'm not telling her business because I don't want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell her business, how old or any of that.
Yes.
But even the first time she said something, even with all of that, I cried.
Oh.
I didn't even.
Were you not?
I didn't tell her.
Yes.
That I was crying. She called me. I was out of town, and she said something, and I was just like, "Oh, okay." As tears were just streaming down my face, because in my mind, I'm a little out there, but. Riley is not.
Yeah.
I'm so hurt to hear that she was even thinking about anything.
Yeah.
I was like, but I didn't want to let her know.
Yeah.
So I didn't let her hear it in my voice.
Yes.
And I appreciated that she wanted to discuss it with me and
trusted you enough.
And trusted me enough to say it.
She could be going to the cousin or aunt that most people come to talk to you.
Exactly. Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie, I was a little like thrown off because I don't know why I never thought about that day actually coming. Yeah. Even though I know realistically
it's gonna come. Yeah.
It's gonna come.
Yeah. What do you think emoted the tears? Was like you.
This is my baby. Yeah. She's so innocent. Yeah. Like what?
Okay, that's what I'm talking about, Kandi.
Yes.
Like what? Like if they brought you to tears, what was it about sex that made you cry? That your daughter's having it now.
Because in my mind, and this is another thing I try to say to young ladies, even though I don't want to wish bad on y'all little boyfriends, but chances are you are not going to end up with that person.
Oh my God, Mama always tell me that. That is not going to be the one.
Ever.
Yeah.
And you got to kind of go into the situation in your young years, knowing that you're probably gonna look back a decade later and be like, oh, I hate this man. I could tell people he ever was with me.
Same. I'm with you. I'm like,
and I'm just like, of course that it's gonna happen, but I didn't want
your baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you are not never gonna be with that person.
Right. Yeah. No, so true. Something that I admire you about and that I've been very vocal about is just your business sense. And I'm really big on financial literacy. You said that you mentioned that your mom taught you not to put all your eggs in one basket. What are some of the lessons that you've learned over the years? Because you have such longevity just about financial literacy.
Oof, so much.
This is where I need you.
Okay. The first thing she used to always say was good credit was better than money.
Come on.
And simply because, I don't care if you got $100,000 cash sitting right there. If you ain't got good credit, that's all you can afford. Something that's $100,000. But if you got good credit, you can get something that's $500,000, $900,000, whatever.
Right.
So that was the first money lesson she would always teach me. But for me, reading The Millionaire Next Door when I was like 17.
Wow.
It was always.
You were ahead of your time because no kids are reading that unless their parents put it in there.
RHOA got our record deal when I was 16.
Yeah.
So my whole goal in life was to never be that teen star that be broke later in life.
I love that.
So that was like, I was always
most teens don't have that mindset.
Well, I was.
I love it.
I was always on a mission to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I started reading, financial books and different things in my teens. But the other thing, multiple lessons. One, I didn't trust accountants. Our first accountant that our group had, they stole like $100,000 from us.
What?
Yes. Putting it all under miscellaneous. When you're on tour and they had like $100,000 worth of miscellaneous. Right. And we teenagers, we don't know.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, and the dude ran off so we couldn't press charges or nothing.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was a bad experience for me now. And I've had account one or two after that that paid bills for us. But when I got like mid-20s, early 20s, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I write all my checks.
I love it.
I write all of them. Nobody is signing nothing for me.
Same.
I think I had heard Oprah say that.
Yep, she taught Tyler that, and Tyler taught me. I sit there and watch him, and that's a lot of checks.
Yeah.
He sit there and click every single one. And what is this?
Yeah.
Questioning. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Nobody has permission to go and sign nothing for me.
Good for you.
You know what I mean? So that's important because even if you're spending a lot, you need to see it go out.
Yes, and see something coming in too. Yeah.
Yeah, because like sometimes you be spending and you don't realize.
Yes.
The other thing is simple things. Like I always tell people, put your bill money in one bank, your spending money in a different bank.
Come on.
So your Cash App and F off money, money you just mess up.
Yeah.
Put that in the other bank. Yeah. Don't put it in your bill account because they will go back. If you overdraft, they're going to overdraft out your bill money if it's in the same bank. Right. Yeah. And so you need to have them in separate banks. And then that allows you to like, okay, I'm going to be able to budget my money right. My bill's going to be on time. Everything going to be right. Good. I'm not going to have anything coming out of this account. And don't even keep an ATM card for that account. Yep. I don't even have an ATM card.
Yeah, I don't even
for my main bank.
Yeah.
So if somebody takes something out my wallet and you think you got my ATM card, you ain't getting nothing. Right. You ain't getting nothing. It might be $200 in there that you like, have at it because you are not getting to the real money. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you got to be vigilant with things like that because you could be your own worst enemy when it comes to budgeting and spending. Yeah. And yeah, that's real. You were 19 years old when you bought your first home, and LL Cool J gave you advice saying, make sure you have a car that you own and a house that you own, so you always have a car to get around and a place to lay your head. Yeah. First of all, a lot of people cannot say they bought a house at the age of 19. But so that's hats off to you for that. But what did that lesson teach you at a very young age about just managing and home ownership? Because that's a big, big responsibility. Well, the other thing that he said was every time you get a check, throw a little bit extra towards the principal. Because, it allow you to, take years off your loan. Yes. So as soon as he told me that, because I used to, when I was younger, I was better with money than I am now. Let me just say that. I used to budget my checkbook down to the penny. Okay. So I had went home, I looked at the little statement, and you know how when you see it tells you the principal, the tax, and then, you know, the interest
Insurance
and all that.
Yeah.
So when I added up my principal, I was like, it's really not that much going a year towards the principal.
Right.
All of that's going to the interest and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then I realized what he was saying was right. And so I was like, okay, if I just put like, you know, so even if I got $500, I'm putting an extra $50 to the principal, or I'm gonna put an extra, you know, if I get a big check, extra $1,000, extra this, and then next thing you know, in over a couple of years, you knocked that thing all the way down.
Yeah.
You know, and it's important, especially when you are your own boss, entertainment especially, because you know our stuff is up and down. You know, one minute you popping, you making all the checks in the world, next minute you not. And you know your run might last you a good 5-10 years, and some people think that never ends,
and it does.
but if you got a 30-year loan, know that at the 10-year mark, your checks is not gonna be the same as when you first started it, or your journey at 15, your 15-year mark is not gonna be the same. Your job situation may change. Anything could change. So stop thinking you got so much time and money to be able to just blow right now.
That's good, Kandi.
You know what I mean? Because if you go ahead and start knocking that loan down, by the time you get 15 years into it, and you could just stop, and then you don't have a mortgage.
Come on out. That part.
Like what? You know, it's things like that people don't even think about, and it's little things that you can do.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. You talked about the life insurance policy, and
that is still going viral. That interview was so long.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It just popped back up. I was like, oh wow.
It keeps popping up. I've been seeing it.
And I have a life insurance policy, and that was a part of the reason, like once you get retired,
investment life insurance policy,
where you can pull from it. And I was like, oh wow, like once you hit a certain age. How old were you when you learned about that? And
so I was 26. That was the year I had Riley.
Yeah.
And my intentions were to, you know, make sure that, Lord forbid something happened to me, because, you know, I'm a single mama.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lord forbid something, I don't make it out of here. At least she got something.
Yes. Right.
So I had got a pretty big policy at the time, but shout out to my people over at the bank. Shout out to Kara. She had introduced me to, at the first, I think it was, the first one I did was with Hartford Life.
Okay.
And they had did this whole analysis, and they broke down how much I was going to, because they said, okay, how much money do you think you need to retire? And back then I thought I was going to retire at 40, y'all. I don't know. What was I thinking? But they were like, okay, so this is how much you got to put into it in order to be able to retire at 40 and get $250,000 a year. Now, mind you, that was a lot of money I had to put into it.
Yeah.
Each year. But honestly, I ended up only having to put it in for 8 years. I thought I was going to have to put it into 40, but it was only to 40 if I wanted to start pulling out at 40.
Yeah.
But to just lock it to where I never had to put no more money into it, it was, you know, like 8 years.
Yeah.
So at that point, I didn't put no more in, and it has grown to the point now, well, to last year, I've upped it tremendously.
Amazing.
So it was so much in it. Last year, my banker's like, you know, if you want, you can just do this exchange thing, and it will triple the amount that you were insured for previously.
Wow.
And but now I won't be able to pull any out for another few years.
Yeah.
But during that time, let me just say, because so many people were like, you know, it's difference of opinion. So some people, investors, say, well, the money that you put into that life insurance policy, you could have put it in this.
They're always going to have another,
you know, thing, and it would have grown this much, and you could have had that much, and blah, 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 blah. But what knowing what I know now. So what I say, I always tell people to diversify. Don't just put in insurance. Obviously, you want to have the insurance because, one, insurance, hey, even if you ain't put that much in it and you kick the bucket tomorrow, your family got what their insurance was worth.
Right.
Okay? But the other part of it is the money that you put in there is kind of protected because people, I mean, they could try, but they can't really sue your life insurance. Right? So that's another thing.
Yes.
The other thing is you can, the way that the investment policy works, you're able to borrow the money from your policy. So that's money you're taking out tax-free that you really ain't got to pay back. So as it's growing, so say, for instance, when I bought my house, and I bought a foreclosure originally. It was a foreclosure. So at foreclosures, a lot of times you have to pay cash for it.
Right.
I was able to just go in, pull the money out, and buy the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So, it was so many benefits. And when the market went crazy, you know, like remember that year when the real estate and everything went to hell? I can't remember.
It was crazy. Yeah.
My insurance was still there.
Yeah.
It was still there. You know, it didn't disappear.
Right.
Yeah. So I just rolled out the market. You know what I mean? Whereas some people, you know, was panicking, so they was pulling their money out the stocks.
Yep.
They was pulling their money out of this and not realizing that eventually that stuff is gonna go back up
and higher. Yeah.
So even the stocks that I had, I didn't panic. I just left it there and it grew back. It came back.
Yeah.
So I do tell people you should have it diversified and get you a little crypto too.
Yes. Okay. See, I haven't gotten there. I got to get into that. Yes. I don't know. It's something about not being able to see it where I'm like, how does this really work?
I don't know. You got to take a little chance every now and then.
I'm going to look into it for sure. You are now actually producing. You're on Broadway. You're doing so many different things outside of music. What pushed you to like, I want to start producing Broadway plays?
Well, I feel like everything that I've done, I've always liked to know. I like to know the behind the scenes as well as in front. Don't matter if it was music. Obviously, I started going behind the scenes, writing and producing for other people. TV, film. I was on camera then. I started producing, and you know, with film and television. And same thing with Broadway. I was on Broadway with Chicago on Broadway.
Yes.
And then I knew I wanted to
That was Mama
go back.
Morton.
I was Mama Morton.
Yes.
And then I knew I wanted to go back at some point, and I didn't know in which way.
Yeah.
The opportunity came up to be a producer, and that's when I met my producing partner. Shout out to you, Brian Moreland. He was doing Thoughts of a Colored Man at the time.
I went to see it twice.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
so good. Yes, you're welcome. It was so good.
Thank you.
When I tell you, cried both times. Phenomenal. Like, are they gonna bring that back? Because we need a.
I was
prize.
telling
It needs
him
to come
that
back.
we should bring it back.
Yeah.
But, it was a great learning experience, and but anyway, it was during COVID, and there was so much going on at the time.
Yeah.
I was very emotional. We had to shut it down early because of the rules of Broadway at the time.
Yeah.
But we decided we was going to go for another one. And we did. And each time it has gotten better and better and better. And I feel like I learned more and more. And now I feel like I'm official in this lane.
Yeah,
right
you just
now.
did Othello. Like,
Yes.
huge. And I actually kind of went to see that twice because Ashaunna and I were supposed to go, and I bought the tickets on the wrong day.
Yeah.
Got there, and they're like, eh. I'm like, try it again. Because I know I bought these tickets. He's like, eh. I'm like, oh my gosh. Looked at the date. I was a week late.
Oh, my goodness.
So went back. So, yeah, I went to see Othello twice, too. And I actually went to see it the second time. And it
Well,
was,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yes. So proud of you on that. That was huge.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was like a blessing. Like I was a theater kid when I was younger. I went to Tri-Cities High School of Visual and Performing Arts. Shout out to Tri-High, everybody that went there. And I also was in the Youth Ensemble of Atlanta. Shout out to Freddie Hendrix. So that was something I did in my teen years that I always wanted to do, but music took off first for me. And after a while being in music, I'm like, why haven't I ever tried to go after my initial dream of doing theater? Like, why? So I had changed my agent, and I told him what I wanted to do. I wanted to be on Broadway, and that's when I got the audition to do the Chicago on Broadway. And from there, I just was like, I just wanted to expand.
Yeah, I love that. When it comes to investments, what has been like the biggest thing that you were like, I regret doing that maybe have been an investment fail for you? Because you've had a lot of successes.
I take a lot of gambles. I've had a lot of things that have happened. So many things. I can run a list. I mean, I can start with music is always a gamble. Okay? We love music. We in music. It's a gamble. I know at this one time I was doing my own album, and you know, when you are like an opening act, sometimes you have to get tour support from your label and stuff like that. And I remember my manager at the time told me I was supposed to be getting some money from the label that I was with at the time. He was like, oh yeah, they're gonna pay this and that, and I was going to be on tour, so I started fronting the setup for myself, you know, because you know you got to get the hotels, it's a lot that talks about going on tours, a lot of things. So I had started fronting all the money for myself, but we about to actually leave to go out, ain't no money came yet from. I'm like, well, where the money at?
What?
And like 2 weeks into the tour, after I'm like $100 and some $1,000 in, he tells me that they said that they weren't paying it.
Oh no, he got to pay that. Because what?
No, I had money gone.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm one of those people, like, I don't mind gambling. But I like to prepare. Like, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to gamble this on that. And, but when you don't know that you're gambling when you spend it. And you don't know that
you're
it's
counting for that to come back. Like
exactly.
You said.
So I had to grind that money right back. I was like, oh my God. We got to get back. Get to the streets. What we doing? So yeah, now I've been gambling on a girl group. You know,
yes. How do you pronounce it?
Hard for them. Siren.
Siren. Yes.
Yeah, and I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. People don't know how much it takes to like get a girl group off and then get started.
So expensive.
So expensive. And one of the girls quit.
What?
Yes.
Does she know how much you've been investing in her? In them? Kandi, in those
anyway,
moments, how do you, like, what is it? Are you like infuriated? Are you like, what is happening?
I am so infuriated. So infuriated because it's one thing when you're gambling on someone, on yourself, but when you gambling on other people's
that's
dreams,
a real gamble.
And you want to see other people win
more than they want to see it. Yeah.
You have to understand that when you see it for somebody else so bad that you're willing to put your money on the line for them, and then only for it to fall apart, only for you to know that people are going to be like, well, they should have did this, or why can't they didn't do this, or blah, blah, blah. And I'll be thinking about all this money I done spent. Child. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, that's the behind the scenes stuff people don't see.
Yes.
And then I meet a million people a day that's like, Kandi, will you do this for me, or will you invest that in me? And when they don't understand where the apprehension comes from, because this is like not the first time that I've tried to help another artist or whatever. And you know, now I'm like trying to figure out, like, okay, what do we do in this situation? I still got 2 more young ladies that are extremely talented that I still want them to win. And it's like, you know, where do we go from here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is,
Yeah. I want to ask you something. Something just came to me as you were saying that. Everybody's all Kandi. When you go home at night after heavy days, like, what is your reset? Like, how do you cope with everything?
Oof.
Because it seems like it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. My last week was heavy. I decided to go to a hotel and treat myself to a spa.
Good for you. Yeah.
and at home, whether it's a staycation.
Yep.
But honestly, I don't really take a lot of time for myself. I don't really take a lot of time to woo-saw.
Yeah.
I'm always just jumping to the next thing and trying to keep things going.
Yeah.
Business-wise, or to keep my focus in a good place. Because, you know, you creative, I'm a creative.
Yes.
So, you know, sometimes that creative energy just picks you up.
It does.
You know what I mean?
It puts a battery in your back, and you're like,
Yeah,
okay.
it definitely puts a battery in your back. So that and hanging out with my kids, you know, that's the fun stuff.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you're pouring from an empty cup?
All the time.
Depleted? So I want to challenge you to take time for yourself. Because that's important. That's crazy that you're like, I don't do that. You have
Really?
to.
Yeah.
I think in those moments you'll probably, and which is a big part of the fasting right now, is because I'm like you. I'm like, go, go, go. What's next? How can we build? How can we scale? It's like, okay, I need to be still for a minute, you know, and really like figure out, what do I truly want? Am I in a rat race right now? Am I just going on a hamster wheel in circles?
Yeah.
To really figure out what it is that you want, and like find those moments of just Kandi's happiness, because it sounds like you feed into a lot of people, and everybody's like, gimme, 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 gimme. Yeah. So I want to challenge you to do that, because you need that, sis.
I'll try.
Yes, please. Dude, don't try. We got to do it. I'm telling you, like, I tell my people all the time, like, listen, if you need a moment, like, go. Like, please, because we can't be our best selves and show up as our best selves if we're always exhausted and always, like, constantly having to, like, think of the next thing.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
You can do it.
I got a real busy end of year ahead of me.
And you probably need a little moment right before that just so you can push through that. Even if it's just a little staycation on the weekend, you can do it. Something, yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to this season where it's all about impact, now when your story is told years from now, what do you want Kandi Burruss's legacy to be when they talk about you?
Ooh. You know, it's always kind of weird when people ask me that question, because I'll be like, ooh, what are they going to say about me when I'm gone?
I always think about that. I was like, what are they going to say?
I want people to say that I was a woman who opened doors for a lot of people, and I helped a lot of people along the way.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to be so many people that stand up and say, Kandi looked out for me, you know what I mean? And, or, you know, whatever the experience was, help them in some way. Like, you know, obviously I want to set my kids up for greatness, and I want them to be set up to enjoy life and be happy.
Yes.
And, but I want, you know, to feel like I helped my community, I helped my friends, I helped my family, and I did it with no complaints.
Yes, I love that. I love that. When you saying that, that people, that you looked out for people, I remember it's very small, but it meant so much to me. We were at Fashion Week, and it was my first Fashion Week, and I'm standing in the room at the basement of Sergio Hudson's show, and like everybody's like, Kandi, everybody take pictures, and they're like, nobody's like, Crystal, let's take your picture, and you're like, Crystal, come on. And it was just that moment of being seen in a room where God, here it comes again. I'm not gonna cry today. You're not gonna do this to me.
I was like, I can't believe I made it without crying today.
But it's a moment of like being seen in a room where you feel invisible. And in that moment you saw me. And I think that was just a small glimpse of me being able to see your heart and who you are. And I was like, and I thanked you them. I was like, thank you so much. Because you didn't have to do that. And you're like, no, you're welcome. But it was so sweet. I was like, it may have been small to you, but it was really big to me.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, like I told you, I love what you're doing, your growth. You know, I remember, you know, before you start being on TV.
Yeah. Just hanging around Gaucher and being around.
Yeah, just being in the same circles. And, I just always I admired your journey that you've
Thank
been on,
you.
know,
Yeah.
and I'm like, anything that I can do to help shine a light, I'm going to do that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel that. And I know my community is rooting for you. We're going to support everything you have going on.
Thank you.
And if there's anything like upcoming that we can jump on when this episode airs, please let us know.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know how we can support, and we'll make sure that we put that in the caption and say, hey, make sure y'all support Kandi, or put in our stories, whatever we can do.
Thank you.
We got you, sis. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes.
I had a good time.
Yes. If you could tell our audience where they can find you.
Okay. Hey, everybody. You can find me at Kandi, Kandi, on pretty much all social media platforms. Kandi Online on YouTube. On Patreon, it's Kandi too, Kandi. And I always tell people to text me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got my little text family. I always shout out to y'all.
I love that.
Text me. The number is 404-458-9464, 404-458-9464. Text me. Tell me what you thought about this interview.
I love it. Make sure you guys tap in with Kandi. Thank you guys so much. And Kandi, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, so today's fit, I am wearing a chocolate brown Irani Kobo dress. Absolutely love this dress. Earrings by Bottega Veneta. My bracelet is by Tom Ford and Cartier. Wearing my signature jewelry, and my shoes are a gold metallic pump by Dolce & Gabbana. Sweeties, today's conversation was everything. It really was. It was fun, it was unfiltered, and full of gems that only Kandi could give. I love that she's always showing that you can build an empire and still be your authentic self every step of the way. I really enjoyed having this conversation, and I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. In the meantime, in between time, keep it positive, sweeties. And if you know someone that could use a little positivity, share this podcast with them. See you guys next time.